Hello everyone, Stephen Barber here, Freedom Lifestyle Guide and Vlogger. I've got a few different things going on in my life. I'm sure all of you do as well. And so what are they? For me, they are the development of the affiliate marketing business that I'm developing. And I am really enjoying that. Just briefly on that front, affiliate marketing is marketing online for products or services that align with me, things that I would like to promote. And for me, I spend a lot of time talking to people about the law of attraction and personal development, about my journey out of depression and into joy, and many of the different mentors that I have availed myself and spent lots of time and money learning about how to live a life in a different way. So that's what I intend to do. The other thing is I'm in a boot camp right now that is helping me with that. It's further teaching about the law of attraction and upgrading my operating system, which is something I want to come back to in a minute. And then the other thing is, as you've been following me, is that I'm getting ready to go to Mexico at the end of this month and renting out my house and getting ready for all the things to do that, on top of, other things that go on in our lives, administration, relationships, and whatnot. And so out of the boot camp, we have homework to do every day and a thought or a quote of the day. I just want to read you today's quote. It says, "As you move into the higher version of you, start thinking about how that version would approach every situation. Intend for what you want. But when it's different than what you want, realize it is for your benefit and you can gain from the experience. Use what you know about reality to aid you in your understanding of the conditions. You do not have to like what's going on. Instead, try to accept it. Don't judge anything as right or wrong. Simply observe it from a position of neutrality. Remember that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Ease is your goal in every situation." And then this morning's meditation was on the topic of freedom. And so the things that I like to talk about are freedom that are some of the first things we tend to think about is economic freedom, which is an important goal, and most people are seen to be after that. And then the other part is personal freedom. And I believe that this latter, the personal freedom, is actually the more important. It's where the joy is actually created. But making money is all part of what we need to do, and doing something meaningful is a great thing to do. So what occurs to me, and I mentioned it just briefly a little bit before, is it occurs to me that as I have developed in my life, I've had to learn to operate differently. I've had to upgrade my operating system, just the same way as my iPhone regularly gets updates to its operating system. An operating system basically being a system that a set of commands, a set of responses, a set of conditions, if this, then that, do this and that, do it in this way, and all of that. And, in real basic terms, you were raised, brought into this world by somebody, and raised by somebody. And those people had our best interests in heart, probably, hopefully, and gave us some rules to live by, things that actually following those rules were helpful to us. And we learned how to cope in those times, how to people please, how to obey, how to, get along, and all the different things we had to figure out how to operate. And often we tend to take those initial operating systems with us into our life for a long, long ways, and finally come to a place of breakdown somewhere where they don't work anymore. So what were they for me? Well, in the beginning, as I told you before, I was raised in a Christian family, church-going family, and so the operating system that I learned there was that I was a sinner, and that I'm bad and wrong, and that I need salvation, and then even at that, I'll probably never get it right. So, and I've talked about that before, so I've had to learn to operate in a different way. I've had to upgrade my operating system, which is really hard to do because there's a lot of fear there that says, well, what if I break away from this, and people around you not wanting you to break away from it. I'm sure you can relate to whatever it is that is the changes you have to do in your operating system. But it's imperative that we change our operating system to something that is more functional for us in today's age. Even as we look back in time, hunter-gatherers, and then the upgrade to farming and agriculture. And today we live in a completely different world. And if we don't upgrade, you imagine if we also lived as hunters and gatherers. We'd be hunting and gathering each other. and just not a very good system. So we do need to operate that system. And what I'm learning more and more is to live in a state of joy, to be more aligned with my core of who I am, which, by the way, is somebody who is a co-creator, part of the universe, part of God, if you will, the bigger sense of God, as we all are, to move this whole thing forward. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But I just want to put it out there to have you think about, how's your operating system doing? Does it need an upgrade? And how you know that? Am I completely satisfied with what it is? Am I eager for more? If you're in that place, then you're doing really well. If you're only there for a minute, then maybe you need an upgrade. I notice my time's gone on here. I need to shut this one down. It feels that once I get going, it's so hard to talk in general terms without getting into the specifics, but that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Have a good night.